Hey Scorpio, welcome to your February 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. How you doing? So Scorpio, firstly I want to say thank you for all the love on the January reading. I think at the moment it's on something ridiculous like 97,000 views. So I'm a little bit taken aback by that. Furthermore, the energy of that, the communication, is going to continue into February, but it's taking on a very different tone. There's actually a more profound communication coming through for Scorpios in February. And it's something that I think a lot of Scorpios have been resisting for a very long time. With the Aquarian season, the energy for Scorpio does go introverted. It's very much to do with your domestic environment. We have this new moon in Aquarius on the 4th of February, bringing a new beginning in your domestic life, in your personal environment, what you want it to look like, where you want to be. You will have more interest in the way you decorate your cave, because you may spend a lot more time in it in Aquarian season as we run up to Pisces season, which is more to do with the creative, outgoing, I suppose, in some ways. The more romantic spin on life. And we start feeling the energies of that on the 11th when Mercury joins Neptune in Pisces. So I think about 11/11, 11th of February, and we're looking back to 2011 when Neptune actually entered Pisces. For many Scorpios, this has represented a series of characters being put in front of you romantically who seemed to be the dream at first. You felt this soulmate connection, and then they were gone. Or they took off their mask. And in many cases, Scorpio, you made excuses for these people until you learned to call them out, and then it was just a series of taking them back, calling them out, letting them go, taking them back, calling them out, letting them go. Almost like a wheel of fortune in reverse, going round and round and round in this negative cycle romantically. I also think with this full moon in Virgo, it may illuminate some friendships from the past that have harmed you in a way that you maybe didn't realize because you had your concentration on the love affairs. Neptune, whenever it's in Pisces, in your 5th house, it may be comfortable there. Neptune rules Pisces. But you have had somewhat of a rose-tinted glasses approach to romance. And although it's made you incredibly creative, and it's made this generation of people, it's been a very creative era. And we'll feel that more when the sun moves into Pisces. But Scorpio, it's time to embrace, for some of you, the hermit feeling you've been resisting for fear of being lonely. You've been tested over and over with similar people to see if you've learned it. The more you refuse to learn it, the more it will test you. And that's not to say all Scorpios have been there. Some Scorpios have had that lesson and learned it well. And for many Scorpios, I actually think they've decided at this time of this year to figure out the actual trigger points or the red flags, thinking about the bigger picture behind it and deciding to make some changes. He's got the whole world in his hand. Some of you are deciding enough is enough. I want to change things. I don't want to rely on people to make me happy. True happiness comes from within. Venus is in Capricorn for February, most of February. The first 4 days it remains in Sagittarius. It enters Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles energy. It's kind. Venus is the planet of love. Capricorn is your communication sector. You develop a new language of love and you give a voice to your heart that it may not have had for a while. Venus retrograding in your sign at the end of last year was uncomfortable. And your heart may have felt a bit stifled. You may have been having many dreams lately of people from the past, people who harmed you. You may have felt a tightness in the chest that you couldn't explain that wasn't medical. It was just feeling as if something is there and you don't know how to communicate it. Your heart gets the voice this month. And when Mars enters Taurus, your partnership sector on the 15th, if you've been looking inward, if you've been healing, if you've been doing that energy, you may be granted a partner who is worth your time, who's more stable, who's more solid. But if you've not been doing that work and you've just decided the only way to heal a wound is to keep slapping on these cheap band-aids, these cheap plasters on top of it, you're going to feel uncomfortable again. You're going to keep repeating the cycle. And you don't have to. Neptune being here doesn't mean you have to keep going for Romeo after Romeo that ends in tragedy. No. But if you're going to look inward and heal, if you're going to try and take self-care more seriously, this is the season to do it. And you will be rewarded greatly in Pisces season. King of Pentacles, Earth energy. Saturn remains in Capricorn. Pluto, your ruler, is in Capricorn. Venus is in Capricorn. The full moon is in Virgo. Mars enters Taurus. Earth energy. So a King of Pentacles person could be an earth sign, or it could represent that part of yourself that knows that great things take time. And the King of Pentacles is the last person to suffer a tower moment because he knows that slow and steady with great care is what will bring a more successful castle to his kingdom. He doesn't force things. He doesn't let the emotions carry him away. What's crossing him is the Ace of Swords. So as I say, that voice to your heart, Venus in Capricorn, is going to give you that voice. You're going to feel as if you can say what it is that you really want to say without being inhibited or feeling as though you don't know what you're trying to say. The answers start coming to you, and they've always been within you. It's just that you've had to take off those rose-tinted glasses and realize that what you need to build is coming from you and nobody else. Ace of Wands, Seven of Pentacles in the past. Quick succession of love interests that were very charismatic, possibly people with strong connections, possibly projects that seemed appealing, and you knew better, but you dove in anyway, and you waited to see the growth, and you were waiting a long time. You were thinking, 7 weeks in, this isn't turning out the way I thought it would. Is it too late to abandon and go on to a new path? No, I'll stick with this because I'm sure it's going to grow eventually, even though you knew that it was basically just a match. You know, it was a flicker. Candles will always burn out eventually. This is more earthy. This is more about growing. Knight of Wands, exactly. You've been indulging in the fire signs. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and a lot of time they are the people that are loving and leaving when they're represented by the Knight of Wands. It doesn't have to be a fire sign, but it just represents those people that come in as though they're your knight in shining armor, as though they're going to save you from the mundane. Because you are... Scorpios do have a flair for the drama. And yeah, sometimes it reflects a dramatic lover, and sometimes it reflects adventure. You want someone who's adventurous and exciting. And then when they leave very quickly, or it ends very quickly, you wonder, were you boring? And a Scorpio is never boring. No, 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 no. But if someone leaves you high and dry, you start to question yourself. Like, why couldn't I keep that person that was so interesting? And it's actually because you knew better. Your intuition is incredibly strong. When Mercury joins Neptune in Pisces in the 11th, Scorpio, if you're not already clairvoyant, you may as well be. Your intuition is going to peak for the next 2 months in a way that is so synchronistic and so scary. You're getting all these signs from the universe and you're sort of like, what does it mean? But you know exactly what it means. It's just whether or not you're willing to accept the answers sometimes. You will be led to the answers whether you're ready for them or not. Many Scorpios will be ready for them because they will be doing the inner work in Aquarian season. And many Scorpios will be trying to do that band-aid over a wound thing, you know? It just depends where you are. Do not fight with the people around you who want the best for you. If you feel your intuition is picking up something, you know they've picked it up, but you're denying it, they might tell you, and they tell you because they care, okay? So don't fight with the people around you in isolation. The magician in your environment is actually the most amazing energy to have in your environment because it means you have all the tools in your arsenal to make something appear. But the magician can also make things disappear. You know? What are you focusing on? What is your intention for this month? What is it that you wish to achieve? What is it that you want to create for yourself in 2019? And do you think you're in alignment with it? If you want real authentic love, are you still dating people that you that seem to follow the same pattern as the people you've dated before. If you want a new home, are you just sitting in your own home and thinking, I don't like this, I wish I had somewhere else, but you're not focusing your attention on what that should look like? The Magician will always give you what you are focusing on and what you are believing. With the High Priestess and the Magician, the phrase, I'll believe it when I see it, goes out the window. What it actually is that you will see it when you believe it. Okay, Scorpio? The world. This is your hopes and fears. Or both. The world can mean you're afraid of something coming full circle and reaching the end of a cycle, because a cycle is familiar, no matter how painful it may be. Fixed energy in every corner. Your energy is up in the top. The eagle. Eagles have to soar. But we also have Aquarian season, the Leo lunar eclipse, and Mars in Taurus. The fixed energy, what you will hold on to so tightly, may have to be let go if it is not serving you. If you're holding on to faith in the greater good, it will serve you, okay? Five of Pentacles. Some of you are going to hold on to what isn't fulfilling you, and thereby the outcome card is always dependent on your choices. It's not a given, okay? It is a year of financial success for Scorpio people. It is a year when you can create abundance in every sense of the word. A lot of it does depend on your sense of self, though, Scorpio, and the inner work. And to have your fourth house energy so soon in the year is actually a great blessing, because it means that you get to go inward and you get to consider what it is that you are doing that is not serving you and what is actually to your detriment. And Aquarius energy will always let you think outside the box. It will always let you think from a higher plane. And if you are focused on a lack of something, you run the risk of becoming hyper aware of it in Aquarian season and manifesting it. There is no such thing in this world as a lack of love. There's an abundance of love. It's just, there are so many people in the world. You don't have to keep dating these Knight of Wands, or you don't have to keep committing to these Knight of Wands, be they business, be they romance. There's a deeper purpose to February, Scorpio, that you're going to have to acknowledge whether you like it or not. And this is, as I say, all to do with being rewarded in March with the love that you desire. With Mars and Taurus, it's a lot more steady, okay? Mercury and Neptune, Pisces, the Mercury is going to retrograde in March. But to have it retrograding in your fifth house, yes, of course, there's that aspect of the past coming back. But if you're dwelling within your own home, if you're being more introverted, if you're really trying to get to know yourself, it's not going to bite you the way that it has done before when Mercury's retrograded in Pisces. Do you know what I mean? We have Mars on your side. Mars is your ruler. You may begin a new relationship in the next couple of months that's steady if you're actually willing to look inward and figure out what you want. The Hierophant rules commitment. The universe wants you to know that this is a possibility underneath it all. But if you, Scorpio, you're so smart. You're so smart. And in love, and I'm saying this because I'm a Scorpio, I'm not criticizing, I'm completely rolling with you on this. In love, because of this Neptune aspect since 2011, we can be so stupid. You know, we can have this desire to want this beautiful romantic story so quickly, and we should know better. And to be honest, Scorpio, I think it's because at this point you've been burned so many times that you just want to enjoy it in the beginning, even if you think this person's not going to stick around for long, but I'm going to fall in love anyway because I want that feeling. You deserve better than that, and you're completely capable of better than that. That's not denied from you just because Neptune is in Pisces, okay? If you want to create something, Scorpio, if you want to take your focus off love, if you want to take your focus off finding the one, as you put it, you can create something so beautiful and it will fulfill you in a way that you won't have time to think about romance. But you are thinking about a fire sign for a lot of you, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. I think you need to create something that you can see that you've done. I don't know, paint something, write something, make some kind of contribution to the world in the form of your art. That's the greatest vulnerability you can offer up to the world. And chances are with Neptune and Pisces, everyone will love it so much you'll wonder why you held back such a gift, okay? A lot of Scorpios I know don't believe they're artistic. But we're all co-creators. We're all creating our destiny. Scorpios that don't get in touch with their creativity resist transformation on many planes. And it can stifle you. The High Priestess here means you're intuitive. You're picking up messages. You're discovering synchronicity. If some of you are taking time out from dating just to go inward and discover yourself, you're really doing the best thing for you at the moment. It doesn't mean you have to. It's just with the King and the Queen of Pentacles here, this Venus Capricorn energy, Mars and Taurus, it's as if you're leading up to somebody that will grow with you, especially if they're an earth sign. If they're a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, they might be the one that balances you out. You may feel finally as though this person reciprocates what it is that you've been giving to. Okay? Knight of Cups, yes. The people that come in woo you. Oh dear. The people that come in and woo you are in your past. The people that woo you, the love them and leave them people. It's been a series for Scorpios. And you want to move on from those which don't grow. You have decided, I can actually abandon this project, this love affair, when I realize it's not working. I don't have to see everything through. I could spend time building something else. Not seeing something through that is failing completely is not a failure, Scorpio. It's common sense. If this hasn't been working, if it's been making you very, very, very unhappy, just because you're a fixed sign doesn't mean you don't have to stick with it. You don't have to hold on to that elusive person from the past that you thought was the one, yet where are they? Do you know what I mean? You don't have to keep holding on to make something happen. Ace of Cups, romantic offerings coming in, possibly from people from different cultures, possibly people from different countries, possibly people from long distance. This also represents, the Ace of Cups has this sort of strange emotional outpouring to it. You're pouring your heart out to people who are not as emotional or who run away from emotions, and you're done with that. You're better pouring that cup into yourself for a while. Three of Cups. Some of you have incredibly intuitive or, spiritual friends who can give you guidance. Some of you may actually, with this full moon in your friendship sector, during Pisces season, the 19th, they meet on the same day. Your friends may reveal something to you that is like a light bulb moment. It's a synchronicity. Great times with friends. You may meet a friend who is a soulmate, someone who fulfills you a lot more than maybe your love life has done, but that is a rewarding thing because friendships rely on a connection that is not partly physical. It's not, when you keep a friend for longer than 10 years, oftentimes the friendship never really disappears. Sometimes they do, and Scorpios find that just as heartbreaking as a romantic breakup. But for a lot of you, Scorpios may be finding some of your friends are like soulmates to you, and you're really, really happy with that, and you decide, I need to spend more time there. But I think a lot of you are meeting friends, if you've been feeling lonely, that serve you better. The Sun, you're fighting off some people who have your best interests at heart, especially if it's your parents or if it's your kids. It's kind of as though someone's trying to shine a light on things to help you and you're fighting it away. The full moon lunar eclipse in Leo may have made you a little bit touchy, a little bit confrontational. It may have made you want to annihilate the competition rather than fight fair. I don't know, especially if that's career. That you're blocking some things manifestation-wise. You are, though. And you don't have to. So you need to drop something in order to pick something else up. Okay? The magician, he has all the tools, but he has a table. He doesn't carry them all at once for fear they will disappear. He knows that they're all there. You have absolutely everything to create what it is that you want. There is nothing denying you a chance in this life that you want to take, okay? The possibility, see the infinity sign, the possibilities are infinite, so you don't need to hold so tightly for fear of loss. You know, it's like Ebenezer Scrooge in the Christmas Carol. He was so busy holding on to his money, he never made connections. He was holding on to what he knew. And as soon as he was free with his money, he realized he could be free in other areas and enjoy himself in a way he did not realize. You've been going through a period of rejection. You've either felt very rejected by those around you, you've maybe felt quite lonely, and it's made you wary. It's made you feel like you don't want to take offers. A certain offer may come right back around, but for me this looks like an end to rejecting yourself. I know this is quite deep and it's not necessarily, you know, telling you everything that you want to hear, but this month is so much deeper for Scorpios. It's so much more, it'll make you so much more aware of yourself and your destructive patterns. And here we have an offer. I mean, can you believe that? Going through the messages here, and then we're coming out of abandonment into an offer of prosperity. Just by doing that work. If you guys are dealing with an earth sign, I really think there seems to be something very, very important with this person. It's almost as if you see something in yourself you hadn't seen before because of them. 10 of Wands underneath. You are coming to the end of a negative, heavy cycle, whereby you feel like you've done all the work, whether it's romantically, whether it's business. You feel like you've been carrying all these burdens, all these memories, and you're ready, 10 of Swords, you're ready to change your thinking. You're ready to release yourself from the negative patterns, the negative cycle. The sun always comes up in the 10 of Swords. You've been stabbed in the back in this lifetime, Scorpio, particularly in the last 7 years. You've had people that are takers, you've had people that are backstabbers, you've had people that are little reminders from the universe to stop accepting these people. The second you do is when the universe will start sending you the people you deserve. If you aren't learning something, the universe will keep sending it to you until you get it. Okay? For a lot of Scorpios, it's romantically. Just saying. You've had to really learn some things there, but for many Scorpios also, it's friendships. Who have been taking from you and who have you been giving the benefit of the doubt? Even though you know, you know that inwardly you really doubt that person. Your intuition gets an absolute reboot and you get clarity through faith. Anxiety of the future is a lack of faith. Anytime you feel worried about something, if you think, I don't know that I'm ever going to find that person, or I don't know if I'm ever going to discover what my life purpose is, what my passions are, have faith. Ask the universe for a sign and you'll receive a sign. Maybe the sign's in the video, maybe it's a flamingo, maybe it's a peony, maybe it's a rose quartz. Who knows? There's a sign coming through from you. As I say, Aquarian season is all about synchronicities. And those that keep the faith this month, through their introverted, lonely energy, will be rewarded greatly in Pisces season. Okay, let's get to the end of the messages. Bear in mind, in the extended, as is now the case, if you're dealing with an earth sign, fire sign, water sign, air sign, it will be available there individually. You may be dealing with a water sign, or this may represent you. King of Cups, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Page of Swords. So we talked a lot about the gossip part, being wary who you share your thoughts with. Because you know when you get a really good idea, Scorpio, and you feel really good about yourself and you say, oh, well, I know this is coming to me, and someone says, I don't know that I believe in that stuff. You know, it can deflate you. You don't have to tell everybody everything, because sometimes another person can, without meaning to, obviously, they can rain on your parade or say something that takes away this sense of peace that you've developed. And if your peace is taken away by somebody else, it isn't strong enough So maybe keep it to yourself for a while longer until you're solid with it. It does not matter that other people don't believe in what you do. You know, on New Year's Eve, I was talking to this person who, very, very, very strongly Catholic, and they don't believe in astrology per se. And they just said outwardly to me, oh, I don't believe in astrology. And I thought to myself, at first, it kind of takes you aback a little bit because you're almost like, I want to explain why you're such a Pisces with the moon in Gemini, because he really is. But I thought to myself, it doesn't matter if he doesn't believe the same thing that I do. Why would it matter? You know, I'm not going to launch into it, but why would God create the solar system and the planets if we weren't to study them? You don't need to convince someone to your way of thinking, you know? So if there are people around you that think differently, you don't have to convince them, but there are people around you who just want the best for you, and maybe it's coming across as abrupt, or you feel like they're blocking you really. There are people that really genuinely care, and you don't want to cut them off just because of somebody who comes in very quickly and seems exceptionally charming. Wheel of Fortune. The wheels have been turning for a while. Since Jupiter was in Scorpio, it began a cycle of luck for you in different areas. First one was self. It was giving you the tools with the magician. That's what Jupiter in Scorpio is like. Giving you the tools to create something. Now it's in your self-worth and financial sector. It's still going. But you're having a wake-up call moment. You are having a judgment moment, Scorpio. You're waking up to the fact it's okay to abandon ship if the ship's going down. Okay. The moon. If you are dealing with someone who is very, very, very hot and heavy emotionally and then disappears, there's things you don't know about this person. Okay? Could be, as I say, with the Knight of Wands. It doesn't have to be someone that's Sagittarian, Aries, Leo. But it can also represent any sign. And it also doesn't mean that every Sagittarian or whatever is hiding something. It's just to be wary of the fact that for fire signs in particular, and for a lot of people, emotions are very easy to distribute whenever they don't have much riding on them. Okay? This person may have other things going on that are important or that you can't see. So take things slowly with people in terms of let the facts reveal themselves. This full moon in Virgo could be quite revealing for you. There's the fire sign again. Okay, so some of you seem to be reuniting with a fire sign, which is interesting. Three of Cups can often represent reunions. But with the High Priestess and the Moon touching all fire signs, after this lunar eclipse in Leo, many of them may have retreated and they may be more introverted than you expected them to be. They may feel a little lonelier than usual and they may actually be in their own head, in their own company. So do not pressure them with an outpouring of emotion to get them out of themselves. It appears to me to be quite astrological, as if they are going through a period of introspection as well. And if you embrace that space and you use it for yourself, it will be better rather than trying to come into their space and make them see you. Okay? Two of Cups. For a lot of you, you're hoping for this soulmate connection and you're fighting for it. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to fight to make somebody be that person. You don't change the person that you're meant to be with. You accept them and it flows better. If it's involving an eternal struggle, an eternal fight, stop struggling. And if they go, they go. If they go, they're not the right person. As I say, it's okay to abandon ship if that's the case. If they're still there, in fact, if it gets better when you remove the lack of ease, and they're still there, it means that it's better, okay? So if two people can let each other have their space, especially in Aquarian season, they're meant to be. If you keep holding on to stuff that makes you feel heavy, you will block manifestations of something better. Sometimes the universe knows what's better for you than you do. You don't want to be someone who is emotionally rejected when you open up all the time. Knight of Pentacles. As we go into Pisces season, Scorpio, we go out of a period of feeling lonely and feeling like there's a lack of stability, a lack of commitment, and we move into a period where there is, especially if you're dealing with an earth sign. Okay, so I don't just leave it on a court card. Just see what's underneath here. Yes, success. Success, success, success. If you stuck this out through to the end, yay! I'm going to clarify this Knight of Pentacles. Oopsies. 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Okay, so this commitment comes through releasing Scorpio, the feeling of being bound to people that you know are deceiving you. Okay, that's what happens here. This is what we do with the 5s. 5s are tricky. They're kind of confrontational. You don't have to, the 8 of Swords, all about restriction. The 5 of Swords is very deceitful. Stop tying yourself to people who deceive you. Stop tying yourself to the sword that is making you bleed. Okay? Release yourself. Release yourself and let this Knight of Pentacles appear. Okay? Let the person that wants to offer you something come forward. Let that person come forward with a steady, it may not seem wildly exciting, but in the long term it's exciting. So I'm going to do some love cards. These are new in time for Valentine's Day. So let's see what romantic cards we have for Scorpio. Oh, how many's here? 3. Yin and Yang. Oh, love and life purpose. As I was talking about the life purpose, Scorpio. Wait for somebody who balances you out and who is, you know, the yin to your yang. They're very different, but they don't drain you, they don't take from you. With love and life purpose here, you are, for a lot of Scorpios, as I say, if you're going inward and you're trying to figure stuff out and you're not in this romantic search and you're not relying on other people for your happiness, you're going to be so fulfilled from this, and you're actually going to be woken up to a real life purpose changing moment where you awaken your heart chakra and you understand yourself more. Yin and Yang is really beautiful energy. So I'm just going to go into the book real quick because these are new, and see about yin and yang because I'm really interested. I've not actually come across this yet. Strive for harmony and balance in your inner and outer life through change, reflection, and growth. Okay, that's perfect. That is exactly what we've been talking about, finding that balance. Feminine and masculine. This can often come up for women who, for example, give so much in the relationship and the man isn't providing anything, for example, and she's the emotional, the only emotional voice. As I say, your heart gets a voice this month and it will tell you things that you may not like, but you need to listen to. If you're seeking your soulmate, take a moment to sit quietly and tune into your own balance of yin and yang. Are you too passive or too aggressive? Are you always the one trying to make things happen? I mean, that is such a message for a lot of Scorpios. With that Neptune Pisces, if you're the one constantly trying to make this happen and other people are running away from your emotions, they're not the right person. Allow this masculine energy to come forward and provide for you too, so that you're not just, drained giving everything that you need to receive yourself. Because if you're running low on something, it doesn't make sense that you give what you have away. Think about what love really is for you. As I say, love is abundant. It exists in many forms. Tap into it and you're going to figure out something a lot deeper than just finding that person. As I say, you're going to be rewarded in Pisces season. If you are lonely, if you're doing the inner work, honestly, you're in a better position than if you're trying to put something on somebody that's not there to begin with, okay? So, love you guys, and I'll see you in the extended if you're joining me there, and if not, I'll see you in the next set of readings. Bye!